Are you tired of feeling like you're just going through the motions of life, never truly engaged or enjoying what you're doing? What if you could tap into a state of mind where time flies, productivity soars, and real satisfaction is found in the day-to-day? In this animated summary, we'll dive into Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi's groundbreaking book, Flow, The Psychology of Optimal Experience, which reveals the secrets to unlocking this powerful state of being. Get ready to transform the way you live, work, and play. You'll learn about the magic of the flow state, where intense focus, complete engagement, and pure enjoyment come together to elevate every aspect of your life. We'll guide you through the essential components of flow and share practical tips for cultivating a lifestyle that not only leads to greater happiness, but also to personal growth and fulfillment. By watching this video, you'll not only gain insight into achieving peak performance in any endeavor, but also discover how to create more meaningful and enriched experiences every single day. Don't miss out on unlocking your potential for a more vibrant, purpose-driven life. Join us as we uncover the key ideas from flow and help you find your path to optimal living.
Before we dive into the first idea, if you are a visual learner, you have to check our app, Morphosis. We have animated book summary videos for the best self-development and business books. Click the link in the description to get a 7-day free trial and learn from hundreds of animated book summaries. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you get notified when we upload free videos.
Idea 1. The concept of flow. The concept of flow describes a special experience where people become fully involved in what they're doing. Imagine doing something you really enjoy and being so wrapped up in it that everything else seems to disappear. Time flies, and you forget about your worries and distractions. You're just living in the moment, focused on the task at hand. When someone is in this state, they're not just having fun, they're also performing at their best. It could be while playing a sport, making music, or even solving a challenging problem. The activity needs to be neither too hard nor too easy, hitting that sweet spot where it's just right to keep you engaged without feeling overwhelmed or bored. To get into flow, you need to have clear goals so that you understand what you're aiming to do. You also need direct feedback, which means knowing right away how well you're doing. This helps you stay focused and make any needed adjustments on the fly. While in flow, you feel like you have control. You aren't concerned about failing. Instead, you're just into the action, almost as if you and the activity have become one. This feeling can make you lose track of time because you're so engrossed in what you're doing. Some people find flow in their hobbies, like gardening, painting, or playing chess. Others might find it at work when they're tackling a project that's really engaging. And it doesn't happen all the time. It takes the right mix of challenge and skill, along with a real commitment to the task, to get there. But those who find flow regularly often feel more satisfied with life, because these moments of deep focus can be really rewarding. Idea 2. Components of flow. To understand what makes up flow, consider imagining an experience so engaging that everything else fades away. Time flies, and you are completely absorbed in what you are doing. This captivating state hinges on certain elements. The first key element is having clear goals. When you know exactly what you're trying to achieve, it becomes easier to focus and stay on task. Goals give direction and a sense of purpose. Second is immediate feedback. This means knowing right away how well you're doing. When you can tell whether you're on the right track or need to adjust your approach, you can maintain a state of flow. It's like playing a game where you can quickly see your score or level. A balance between challenge and skill is also crucial. If a task is too easy, you might get bored. If it's too hard, you could get anxious or frustrated. But when the difficulty is just right, matching your current skills, it's like hitting the sweet spot that keeps you engaged and in the zone. Another element is the merging of action and awareness. In this mental state, you become one with the task. Your actions seem to happen almost effortlessly, and your awareness is completely focused on what you're doing. Distractions melt away, and it's like nothing else exists apart from the task at hand. This leads to the exclusion of distractions. When you're truly in flow, it's as if the outside world has turned off. You're not thinking about other things. No worries about what to make for dinner or a rough day at work. All that exists for you is the activity you're doing. Since you're so involved in the task, there's also no fear of failure. You're not concerned about messing up or looking bad. Instead, you're in a state of pure action, taking risks and pushing boundaries without being hindered by the fear of what might go wrong. Self-consciousness disappears too. In everyday life, you might critique yourself, but in a state of flow, those inner doubts and criticisms are silent. You are what you're doing, and there's no mental space left for being self-conscious. Lastly, your sense of time becomes distorted. Have you ever been so drawn into something that you forgot the time? Hours pass like minutes. That's a common feature of flow. When you look up from what you're doing, you're often surprised at how much time has actually passed. To really grasp flow, imagine being fully alive, alert, and in the moment, where every action, every thought follows inevitably from the previous one, like playing jazz. Your whole being is involved. You're using your skills to the fullest, and it feels like you're doing exactly what you ought to be doing.
If you like the video so far, give it a like and subscribe to our channel so you get notified when we upload more animated book summaries. Also, leave a comment if you agree or disagree with the ideas of this book. We read all your comments. Thank you for your support. Now let's continue.
Idea 3. Autotelic personality. The concept of the autotelic personality refers to those individuals who have a tendency to engage in activities for their own sake, rather than for some external reward or outcome. The term autotelic is derived from the Greek words auto, meaning self, and telos, meaning goal. People with this personality type are naturally driven to do things because they find the experience itself rewarding and satisfying. People with an autotelic personality approach life with a curiosity and persist regardless of potential difficulties. They enjoy the process of doing an activity, such as solving a puzzle or playing a sport, not just the end result like winning or getting praise. Their satisfaction comes from the experience itself, the journey rather than the destination. These individuals are also good at controlling their attention. They can focus intensely on whatever they are doing and tune out distractions. As a result, they often experience flow more frequently and intensely than others. They're skilled at setting goals that are both challenging and realistic, providing just the right level of difficulty to maintain engagement without causing frustration or boredom. Autotelic personalities are resilient because they find intrinsic rewards in the activities they undertake. This means that even in adverse circumstances, they are less likely to give up, since their motivation comes from within, and they enjoy challenges as opportunities for learning and self-improvement. In a world often focused on external rewards like money, grades, and praise, those with an autotelic personality show that finding joy and purpose in the simple act of doing can be a powerful motivator and a source of fulfillment. They remind us that sometimes doing what you love and loving what you do is an end in itself. Idea 4. Conditions for flow in activities. To experience flow during activities, there are certain conditions that need to be met. There must be clear goals that set the direction and structure for the task at hand. It's like knowing exactly where you want to go on a map, which gives you clear understanding of the steps you need to take. Along with having definite goals, it's important to get quick feedback. This means knowing how well you're doing as you're doing it, like a video game that shows your score right after you complete a level. Another key condition is finding a good balance between how challenging the task is and what skills you have. The task shouldn't be too easy, otherwise you'll get bored. On the other hand, if it's too hard, you will get anxious or give up. The activity has to be right at that sweet spot where it's just hard enough to push you, but still within your abilities to keep you engaged. These conditions help to keep you fully involved in what you're doing, blocking out any distractions. When you're in this state, worries about failing don't really enter your mind because you're too engaged with the present moment, focusing on what's happening right here, right now. When everything lines up just right, you might find yourself losing track of time because you're so wrapped up in what you're doing. You might also forget yourself and your surroundings because you're not thinking about anything else but the task. You're one with the activity. It's this deep level of involvement that makes flow such a unique and enjoyable state. Idea 5. The flow model. The flow model is a way of looking at how people engage with activities that challenge their abilities. Imagine a graph where one axis represents the challenges you face and the other shows your skills. Where these two aspects meet is important. If a task is too easy compared to what you can do, you might get bored. If it's too hard, you might feel anxious. The sweet spot for flow is when your abilities are perfectly balanced with how much the task challenges you. In this zone, you're likely to lose track of time because you're so focused on the activity. The activity is not so difficult that you're stressed, but it's also not so easy that you're not interested. In this model, the main idea is that people can reach a state of complete attention and immersion in what they're doing. When both the challenge and the skills are high, you're most likely to hit this state. This is the area where you experience flow. To reach flow more often, you might look for tasks that stretch your abilities just enough to be engaging, but not so much that they're overwhelming. By increasing your skills or seeking out greater challenges, you can keep moving your experiences into the zone of flow. It's about finding that balance where you're growing and enjoying what you do at the same time. Idea 6. Flow in work and leisure. When people think about their jobs and hobbies, they usually see them quite differently. One might believe that work is something they have to do, while hobbies, sports, and entertainment are things they choose to do for fun. But it's not always about what you're doing. How you feel about it can also make a huge difference. Take work, for example. Many individuals find their jobs boring or stressful, and this often comes down to the kinds of tasks they do day in and day out. However, for those who dive into their work with full attention and take on tasks that are just right, not too easy but not impossibly hard either, there's a chance to experience a deeply focused state of mind. This is about getting lost in what you're doing, feeling productive and creative, and not watching the clock. In hobbies and leisure activities, the same idea applies. When someone is doing something they enjoy, like playing chess, painting, or running, and they challenge themselves just enough to stay engaged, they too can hit this sweet spot of total involvement. In this space, worries and frustrations fade away, and time seems to flow by without notice. Hobbies and leisure activities are great for finding this groove because people often pick things they naturally like and that they are good at, which means the balance between challenge and skill is already there. Plus, since these activities are chosen freely, there's usually a greater sense of control and satisfaction. The key is to look at work and play not as opposites, but as different opportunities to experience that intense and rewarding feeling. By changing the view of work as a chore or leisure as just downtime, anyone can find new ways to inject passion and joy into everything they do. It's all about engaging in each task fully, choosing to tackle challenges that match one's abilities, and essentially creating a life where work and leisure alike are parts of a harmonious, gratifying whole. Idea 7. Flow and happiness. The connection between the state of flow and personal happiness is a core theme in the book. The idea is that when people engage in activities that induce flow, they often feel a sense of joy and fulfillment. Flow experiences can occur in various daily activities, ideally those that challenge a person's skills just enough to be stimulating, but not so much that they cause anxiety or stress. When a person is in flow, they're absorbed in what they're doing, and the usual distractions of life fade away. Time might seem to fly by, a feeling many of us have had when we're really enjoying what we're doing. The book stresses that we find genuine satisfaction during moments of flow, and these moments have a lasting positive effect on our overall sense of well-being. Importantly, experiencing flow contributes to happiness because it involves achieving goals, overcoming challenges, and improving skills, all things that help give life a sense of progression and meaning. When people look back on these times, the memories can give a strong sense of accomplishment and pride. Flow isn't necessarily found in passive activities or easy wins. It's often the pursuit of something challenging that draws out this deeply engaged state. Because of that, people are encouraged to seek challenges that are a good match for their personal skills, which enables them to keep pushing their boundaries in enjoyable ways. According to the concept, happiness is more about being involved in engaging processes and less about reaching external goals or acquiring things. The active pursuit of growth and engagement through flow experiences is suggested as a route to sustainable happiness, rather than relying on external measures of success. Idea 8. Transforming the self. The idea of transforming the self in the context of flow revolves around self-improvement and personal growth that occurs when individuals engage in flow activities. When people regularly experience flow, they often find themselves developing new skills, increasing their competencies, and becoming more complex as individuals. In flow activities, the challenges that one faces are often on the edge of their current abilities, pushing them just beyond their comfort zone. This creates a situation where individuals must stretch their capabilities to meet these challenges. Through this process, they not only become better at the specific task at hand, but also grow their overall skill set. As they continue to seek out flow experiences and take on new challenges, they tend to build a stronger sense of self. Each time they succeed in a flow activity, their self-confidence improves. They start seeing themselves as more capable and effective, which can lead to transformations in their self-image and their approach to life. These transformations are not just limited to improvements in performance. They also influence a person's behavior, values, and desires, sometimes leading to a change in what they find meaningful and rewarding in life. The drive to seek out challenges that induce flow can lead someone down a path of continuous learning and self-discovery. This ongoing cycle of seeking and overcoming challenges can become a central way in which people create an enriched and fulfilling life. Engaging in flow experiences is like embarking on an ongoing journey of mastery and self-expression. Over time, as one's abilities grow, so does the complexity of the challenges they can tackle. This can result in a person developing a richer, more complex self, and this process of growth and change is at the heart of the concept of transforming the self. Idea 9. The body in flow. When we talk about the body in a state of flow, we're looking at how physical action can help us find that deeply focused mental state where we're fully immersed in what we're doing. Imagine a dancer moving gracefully to music. Each movement perfectly aligned with the rhythm, the dancer is completely lost in the performance, not distracted by anything else, only aware of the music and the motion. That's the body in flow. This isn't just about professional athletes or performers. It can happen to anyone who's doing something physical that they enjoy and are good at. It could be going for a run, gardening, or even painting. What matters is that the activity challenges you just enough to keep your full attention, but still matches up with your skills so that you're not struggling or bored. When you're in this state, you're not concerned about how you look to others, or even how your body feels. It's almost as if you're watching yourself from the outside, and your body just knows what to do. You move without thinking, and time seems to fly by. Achieving this requires a balance between your skill level and the challenge at hand. If something is too hard, you get anxious. If it's too easy, you get bored. To find that sweet spot, your physical abilities need to be right in sync with the task. So, when you get into physical activities, you might strive to find that point where everything else fades away, and it's just you and the movements, creating that perfect harmony. It's not just about exercise. It's about any physical activity done with focus and skill. This is the beauty of the body in flow. Idea 10. The flow of thought. When we talk about the flow of thought, we're really exploring the idea of how our minds can get completely caught up in an activity. Imagine you're working on a puzzle or playing a challenging game of chess. You might find yourself so absorbed in the activity that you lose track of time and everything else around you fades away. This happens because the task you're doing is fully grabbing your attention. This intense focus happens because the challenge of the task is just right. It's not too hard that you get frustrated, but it's not too easy that you get bored. It's that sweet spot where your skills and the difficulty level match up perfectly. This balance keeps your mind fully engaged. When you're in a state of flow, your thoughts are clear and ordered. You know exactly what you need to do next, and you get immediate feedback from the activity. Let's say you're writing a story. You write a sentence, and you instantly know if it fits or if it doesn't. This quick feedback loop helps your thoughts to flow smoothly. It's also important to note that when you experience flow during a task that involves thinking, you feel a sense of control. Despite the difficulties of the task, you feel confident that you can handle it. This leads to a deeper enjoyment of the activity itself. You're not anxious or self-conscious. Instead, you're completely wrapped up in the problem-solving or creative process. Lastly, this experience is possible in many different types of thought-based activities. It could be when you're solving a complex math problem, planning a garden, or creating a piece of art. As long as the challenge is there and your skills are being put to good use, your mind can enter this highly focused and enjoyable state that makes the hours fly by without you even noticing. Idea 11. Flow in solitude and social interaction. Flow can happen when we are alone as well as when we're with others. When we are by ourselves, engaging in a hobby or a task that we love, we can often get lost in what we're doing. This is because the activity has the right mix of challenge and matches our skills. We get so involved in the task that time flies by without us noticing, and we are not thinking about ourselves or our worries. In contrast, when we are with people, flow can occur in social activities that need us to interact and communicate. Think about playing music in a band or being part of a sports team. Here, the flow comes from the shared energy and the rhythm of working together with others. Everyone is doing their part, and when it all clicks, it feels seamless. Both kinds of flow, whether alone or in a group, require goals that are clear and actions that give quick feedback. For example, when you're climbing a mountain alone, you know your goal is to reach the top, and the mountain gives you feedback. A stunning view, the feel of the rocks, the success of finding a handhold. In a team, your goal might be to win the game, and the feedback comes from the scores, the cheers of the crowd, and the coordination with your teammates. The key thing is the balance. The activity can't be too easy, or you'll get bored. It also can't be too hard, or you'll get frustrated. When you hit that sweet spot, where your abilities are fully engaged with just the right amount of challenge, that's where flow thrives, both alone and with others. Idea 12. The making of meaning. The idea of the making of meaning in the book revolves around how individuals can find a deep sense of purpose and significance in their lives. The core message is that creating meaning is not something that happens to us, but rather something we do through the choices we make and the activities we engage in. When talking about making meaning, it's about shaping one's own life story in a way that brings satisfaction and a sense of accomplishment. A life that has meaning feels worthwhile and important, no matter what external circumstances might be. This sense of meaning comes from within, through knowing that you have used your abilities to their fullest and have engaged deeply with the world around you. Meaning is crafted when someone takes the small and big things they do every day and sees them as part of a bigger picture. By setting goals and striving to reach them, people add direction and purpose to their lives. These goals don't have to be grand or world-changing. Rather, they should be personally significant and provide a challenge that matches one's skills. This concept suggests that when someone spends time on activities that produce the state of flow, these moments enhance their sense of who they are and give them a feeling of being part of something larger than themselves. Meaning is made when there is a match between the person's goals and the actions they're doing, leading to a fulfilling narrative of their life. One also creates meaning through their responses to unavoidable life events. Everyone encounters difficulties and disappointments. The difference lies in whether these events are seen as setbacks and sources of frustration, or as opportunities for growth and new experiences. When people choose to learn and grow from their experiences, their lives become more meaningful. Making meaning is an active process, and it is a central aspect of a happy and fulfilled life. Essentially, it is about taking control, choosing where to focus your efforts, and building a life that reflects your values and passions. Through this, you weave together a story of your life that makes sense to you and fulfills you emotionally and mentally. Idea 13. Cultivating flow. Cultivating flow is about creating conditions in your everyday life that make it easier to experience the deep involvement and enjoyment that comes from being fully immersed in what you're doing. To do this, it's important to set clear goals for yourself. These can be small, like deciding to learn a new word each day, or big, like planning to write a book. Having clear goals gives direction and motivation. Another part of cultivating flow is seeking out new challenges that match your current skills. If something is too easy, you might get bored. If it's too hard, you might feel anxious. You want to find tasks that are just right so you can stay interested and push your skills forward without feeling overwhelmed. Immediate feedback is also key. When you know how well you're doing in the moment, you can adjust your actions and keep yourself on track. This could be as simple as knowing if a note played on a musical instrument sounds right, or if a tennis stroke lands the ball where you intend it to. You also need to develop deep concentration. This might mean setting up your space and time to limit interruptions. It could be turning off notifications on your phone while you're focused on a task, or setting aside certain hours of the day for focused work. It can help to do one thing at a time. In today's multitasking world, focusing on one thing can seem strange, but doing one thing fully can help you dive deeper into the experience and enjoy it more. Lastly, enjoying the process itself, rather than just chasing after goals or rewards, ties into the heart of cultivating flow. This means picking activities that naturally bring you joy and satisfaction. Over time, all of these elements combine to help you shape a life where these deeply engaging experiences become more and more regular. You learn to find enjoyment and purpose in what you do, which can lead to a fuller, more satisfying life. Idea 14. The future of flow. The idea concerning the future of flow revolves around the potential application of the flow concept to enhance the quality of life on a larger scale. The author suggests that understanding and fostering flow could play a significant role in both education and societal systems. He envisions a future where schools prioritize creating environments that challenge students in a way that matches their skill levels, leading to increased engagement and enjoyment in learning. This would help develop a lifelong love for learning and an intrinsic motivation to seek knowledge. In the context of work, he imagines a future where jobs are designed to be more conducive to flow. By creating roles that have clear goals, provide immediate feedback, and balance challenges with employees' skills, work could become more fulfilling. Furthermore, this emphasis on flow could lead to greater productivity and satisfaction in the workplace. He also touches on the potential for technology to contribute to flow experiences. With advancements in technology, individuals have more opportunities to engage in activities that are highly immersive and allow for deep concentration, whether it's through video games, virtual reality, or online learning platforms. He urges caution, though, suggesting that it's crucial to use technology in ways that enrich life rather than distract from it. The future of flow also involves understanding and harnessing it in a communal and societal context. The belief is that if communities and societies can create conditions where flow experiences are more common, it will lead to greater overall happiness and well-being. This could mean designing public spaces, community activities, and social systems that promote engagement, challenge, and skill development. Overall, the future of flow is envisioned as one where individuals are more mindful of their activities and choices, seeking ones that lead to growth and fulfillment. This is coupled with the hope that institutions, whether educational or professional, will align themselves with the principles that encourage flow, ultimately aiming to improve the quality of life on a broad scale.
If you like this video, make sure to check our app, Morphosis. It has hundreds of videos like this one, and you can watch it with the 7-day free trial offer we have. Just click the button in the description and start learning today. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you get notified when we upload free videos.